Good day, Simmers. Welcome once again to SIMantha's FreePlay channel. And in this episode, we will go ahead and check to see if the open basement glitch is still working after the Shabby Chic update. And as you can see right here, I have a couple of open basements that I've prepared or built prior to shooting this video. The reason why I did that is because I wanted to show you a couple of things. Okay, the first basement, as you may notice, or first open basement, it has sort of like an extension right here, this part right here, but this one on the other end is a perfect square. If you take out the stairs that I have attached here, this is a perfect square. Okay, however, this one right here, if you take out the stairs as well, this would have an extension on the railing. So I will show you the difference between the two as we move along with testing the open basement glitch. So to start with, let's go ahead and go into build mode. And the first thing that we are going to replicate is this open basement to the left that has the extension. Now, what we need to do is to create the room or build the room. The size of the open basement will depend upon you. So it's up to you how big you want the open basement. So I'll stick with the 8x8 that I have here. And I'll build the first room on the ground floor. Okay. And then we will need to create the extension like this, and that's with the use of the L-shape function, which is the yellow icon on the lower right portion of this screen. So just pull it towards the left, and then we have to go to the basement, and then we have to copy the layout of the room. Then we go back up and we exit the room mode. Now we have to have the mezzanine function. Click on that, and then we create a mezzanine all around the room, including the extension. We start with the big area and then create a mezzanine on the extension. Okay, once you've done that, exit mezzanine function, go back to room mode. Now you will need to do a couple of sizing down here. We'll start with this one here, going towards the right. Leave the last row, and then pull this other one towards the right, and leave the last row, and then delete. And then you have your open basement. You will notice that it seems like the railings have been cut out. Two things you can do: you can exit the lot. If you want to keep the same railing, you can exit the lot and go back, it will return. But if you have like another railing in mind, you can definitely change it. So we'll use the one that I have on the example right here. I used this particular railing, so just change it and it will again look complete. But as you very well notice, there's like an uneven area here because of the L shape. All you need to do is to go back to room mode, go to the basement, and then just pull this room to even it out. It's not going to affect the open basement. It will stay there. So in this way, since we had pulled this to even out the room, you now have the capability of adding a stair for your Sims to access the basement. Okay, and some of you were asking whether you can decorate the open basement like a regular room. Yes, any object that can be placed in a room, even this tree, is acceptable. So you can decorate it as you wish, so long as the item again can be placed in a room. Okay, so we've already been able to copy this first one. Now what about this one to the right? We mentioned earlier this is a perfect square. Okay, now the very key here is you will be able to achieve the perfect square if you are careful where you're going to extend or put the extension. If you are, I'm going to show you the spots where it will not give you the perfect square. Let me just draw up a room so I can show you if you prefer. I prefer the perfect square instead of this one, although it's not so bad. Okay, so say for example this is the size of the basement that you wanted to create. So if you are going to extend the L shape here, okay, that's one, it will not give you the perfect square. Okay, next area to avoid are this one, this, oh sorry, this, and this. Okay, they will not give you a perfect square. But if you will be doing the extension here, okay, here, and then here, and lastly this one here, they can give you a perfect square. Okay, now let me show you first how the perfect square is achieved, and then I will show you the difference why it wouldn't work on those other ends. Okay, so let's use this room since we already have it. Okay, so let's use one of those sides that will give us the perfect square. So let's try this one, the first one. Okay, and then we do the same thing. Go to the basement, draw up the same layout. Go back up, exit room mode, and then just do the same thing. Create your mezzanine in the entire room, including the extension. And another difference in attaining the perfect square, let's just go back to room mode. If you noticed earlier with this one, we had to size it down twice, right? Here, you will only size it down once. Now, wherever the extension is, on whichever side, your sizing down of the room will be the opposite. So in this case, since we have it towards the left, we'll size down the room from the right, okay, going to the left, and then leave the last row, okay, and then just delete. And you have your basement with a perfect square. Same thing, we can even out the room at the basement to allow us to put a stair. Okay. And nothing happens to your open basement, it's still there. Okay, and then you can put your stairs right here, excuse me, or you can turn it around, up to you. So I guess what's key here with deciding where to extend is where you would also want to situate, or where you want to locate the stairs. Okay, now like I said, I'm going to show you the difference between the two. Why wouldn't it work if the extension is in one of those that I have shown you earlier? So let's drop another room here. And then let's try to use another side. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah. Okay, and then we go to the basement and extend, exit, and then we create the mezzanine. Exit mezzanine, go back to room mode. Now remember what we did here, we size it down from the area where the extension is not located, right? So this one right here, again, same thing with this one, it's towards the left, the extension is towards the left side, which is the last row. So we will be sizing this down, pulling the arrow from the right, going to the left. Let's see if it's gonna give us a perfect square. Nothing's happened yet. And then we delete this. We don't have a perfect square. It went down to just the extension area. So we can delete that. But you can still create a basement if you want to put the extension there. It's just that you're not going to get the perfect square. So let me show you how you can do it. Let's draw that up again. And then mezzanine. Oh, sorry. Alright. Exit mezzanine, go back to room. So we'll do the same thing with what we did here, the one that has the extension. So that's sizing down the room twice. Okay, so in this case we're gonna size down the room first from the bottom going up, leaving the last row untouched. Okay, and then we pull this up from here, from the bottom again, from the extension at the bottom going up. Okay, so the extension stays in place, and then we delete this last portion here. Okay, and you have your open basement, just that you have the extension. Then we change the railing. Let's say we're going to use this there. Okay, now I mentioned that there are a few other areas where you can get that perfect square. So it's mostly the areas on top and to the right. If you extend in those areas, then you can get the perfect square, okay? But the extension should always be towards the ends, not anywhere in the middle. If the extension you're doing is on the left side and at the bottom of your room area, when I say bottom, I'm looking at it from the perspective where I'm looking at it from, which is this perspective. So it would really be up to you where you would want to extend the L shape, whether you'd want the extension effect because you wanted to put a design right here maybe, or you just really wanted the perfect square. Okay, now there was one other thing I wanted to include in this tutorial, and I need more space to do that. Let me delete this first. One moment. Okay. Now let's delete the rooms. I'm wasting so much simoleons. Okay. Thank goodness for my life orbs. Now, okay. So just one last thing. Let's create this, and I'll be doing the one with the extension. Basically what I'm trying to show you here, just as a last thing, is if you wanna continue with adding like extend a room to the side of it. Okay, so mezzanine. Go. Right, so again, remember, go back to room mode, and then we size this down twice. Okay, that's one, and then two. Okay, so normally you would delete the last row, right? But you can also do this. Hold this towards here. Okay, hold this back away from the railing. And you can create a design of a room right here, and then have the basement beside it. That's what it's gonna look like. Okay, and instead of you attaching, whether you want to attach a stair right here in this area, let's see, let's extend the, so at least the Sims have a couple of access. So let's say we put a room, no, sorry, a stair right here. And then from this room, let's say this is the size of the house that we wanted to build. Actually copy the layout as well. And then you can put another access here from inside the house. So the access to the basement really depends on how you want it to look. Is the basement going to be beside a house? Is it going to be separate from a house? So that's where you can put the stairs. Okay, so that's it for this episode. I'm gonna find time to within the week, if not towards the weekend, or if not on the next weekend, because I still have some other glitches that I need to test. The duplication glitch for table items for both the cupboard counters or the mirrored sink And then the floating rooms as well. We have a couple of ways to do that using the bay window and the box bay window. But in the meantime, I thank you again for watching, and same thing as per usual. I hope this is helpful, and we'll put a twist or maybe some excitement to the builds that you are creating, because I personally like the open basement, especially if I build on a huge lot and I wanted to put some, something new, something to serve as more of like an attraction versus just having a regular build. Okay, and I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.